Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. The pet system is now fully live on PC and it is coming to consoles either later on this week or the very beginning of next week. If you don't know, the pets update was split in two. PC received the jhebbal Religion and the dungeon last week, and the pets have actually gone live today. To celebrate that fact, Funcom have released the brand new DLC, which reportedly is the last DLC they're going to be adding. It is the Frontier Pack. Adds basically a lot of Celtic and Pictish sort of stuff. You've got lots of animals in armour and there's brand new weapons. Of course, with all these DLCs, they're meant to be mostly cosmetic. You do get new building pieces, but they are pretty much the same strength or standard as other building pieces in the game, so there's not a real gain or advantage. However, the weapons have been a bit controversial in the past, and some of the armor has as well, depending on how you view it. Some of it can be easier to obtain in terms of the resources you need to craft it, or they're slightly different, and some people have discovered that you can actually adjust some of the armor from the DLC sets to give yourself a slight advantage. Now, this is still controversial. I'm not really going to go into it too much, but as you can see from the trailer that's just launched, the new war paints are coming as well. It's all part of DLC. We're going to go through it all, give you all the information about the pets as well, and we'll take a look at the pets in the future. So the brand new DLC pack is going to be coming to the Xbox One and the PS4 on the 17th of October. It's going to include 39 new Frontier building pieces with the same stats as existing Tier 3, 15 new armour pieces in 3 sets such as the Pictish War Chief Heavy Armour, and obviously this will include light, medium, heavy sets with an epic endgame version of each, 9 new fearsome Pictish weapons, same power as iron weapons with an epic endgame version of each weapon, 5 all new pet skins which can be used with the new pet system. You can basically put a new hat on your wolf, your bear or your panther, and 5 new war paints in Pictish style. Now it does state here, it says all the new content from the Savage Frontier pack is exclusive to this DLC and adds a host of new visual options, but does not give any in-game advantage in power. All the new items have comparable stats to existing items. I still keep saying it, I've been saying it ever since they announced the first DLC, I really do think they need to get rid of this wording. Does offer a different type of DLC, it does offer a different type of armour, and people have proven that you can adjust and modify the armour sets and you do get more of an advantage with certain armours. Nevertheless, it's there if people want it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be buying it. I've enjoyed the last 2 sets. I didn't really play around with them too much. I have done live streams though showing you guys what we was building. Probably not going to do that this time. I'd rather focus on taking a look at some of the pets and showing you how to do some of the key systems in the game. So as you can see, this tweet was earlier today. The pet system is now available on PC along with some bug and crash fixes. This update is planned to release on PS4 and Xbox later this week. If you don't know, pets aren't just simply there to be a companion. You can get resources from them if you actually sort of use them as a farming animal aid. They can be used as defences for your settlements. It really will give a lot of people focus in what is really missing, I think, in PvE. Conan really is a PvP styled game. And if you enjoy just the PvE aspects, it can be hard to get into because once you've gone around and defeated all the dungeons, there's not a lot to do. So this is going to give people more scope and something else. We don't want it to be a carbon copy of Ark, and I think they've managed to avoid that. Let's just hope the pets work a bit better than the thralls, because the thralls are still quite buggy and they don't necessarily work as intended. You're going to be building pens for your new animals. They do come in 3 different tiers with 5 available pens to hold animals. So you get your pets by getting a baby or an egg, and it's literally every creature in the game. And yes, we're going to finally see camels possibly. If you feed it the right type of food and its preferred food, you're going to get a very special version of the pet, a greater version. Now also with this, well, last week they added the thrall feeding system, again which upset a lot of people, but it seems pretty simple and basic. There's loads of feeding troughs so you can put food in them and it will feed your thralls and your pets, so you don't have to do too much work. And they do have extended lives as well. But if you do feed them their favourite food, they get temporary buffs. And you can use the dung. Yes, they are going to poop, which you can use for compost for your planters. And I think probably the saddest one, and I can't wait to see some people do some videos about it, you can put your pets into a liquid separator to grind them down into blood, bones and hide resources. Now if you run your own server, there's a bunch of settings where you can turn all of these on and off. You don't have to have it on your server. And it does go through the quality of life updates. Basically, listen to the feedback. It was in test live for over 7 weeks, and they got a lot of feedback and a lot of negativity about how they had actually run it for that time. They did adjust it and change according to feedback. So food is now decaying very slowly when placed in pet pens. The higher the tier of the pen, the slower it's going to decay. Food is also going to decay very slowly when placed in food dispensers, so it's not just pets, it's for humans too. They've added a pet and thrall hunger system server setting to the admin panel. Pet feeding screen can now be opened from the radial menu, and they've taught the Locust Queen how to fight at last. Now it says the camel pet is now the proud owner of a backpack. I have never seen a camel on the console version. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if they're running around. I know you can spawn them in, but I've never seen them on a live server. If you don't know as well, you're going to be using these as basically animals to carry items for you. But in the future, in a recent live stream that I went over, they did announce they are looking at bringing mounts into the game. It's going to be some way off, and I predicted around Christmas time, maybe just afterwards. The next feature they're going to be working on now is going to be sorcery. But mounts is something they've said will be implemented into the game. There are lots of bug fixes as well, but as I went through nearly all of these updates the other day, I'm going to just leave the link for that video down below and go and check them out. It's pretty much the same stuff. And that is it. The pet system is live. Now PS4 has already received the update. They actually managed to hit on Friday, I do believe, the jhebbal sag, the first part. So you're going to be getting the pets at some point later on this week. And Xbox, you're going to get everything all in one go, they've said. You're going to be getting the first part, jhebbal sag, and the Midnight Grove, and the pet system all in one big update. As the post says at the beginning, hopefully this is going to be arriving at some point later on this week. Jhebbal sag is the last avatar god to be added to the game. There are going to be no more. This is it. This is all the avatars, and the pet system really does, like I say, offer something to people that want to play PvE. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a necessity for PvP, but they are buffing all pets and thralls with more health so that they become more comparable. If you want to take a thrall with you, they're not going to suddenly just get killed by one shot anymore. They will have much more better health, and so it goes in line with some of the creatures that you're going to be able to tame. You do get the buffs, like I said, for feeding them correctly, and you have to unlock the pet system by going through the brand new dungeon, which I've also done a video on. So again, I'll leave that link down below. They've added dual wielding moves onto a variety of weapons, particularly swords and shields, and they've added the brand new specialist arrows as well, where you'll be able to do all sorts of things like put tar, smog, and poison, as well as light arrows. Again, these have been shown off quite a bit by Just Horse and Firespark, but I might give it another go myself. And the brand new Legend, of course, how to actually activate it. You do get an endgame item, which is the basic claws. It looks like Vega from Street Fighter. You're going to be OP with that. You move so quickly, and the avatar is pretty good. A lot of people are happy because it means they'll be able to access really tall tribe buildings. The idea is that it will actually do a frontwards attack as well, not adjust where it touches. So anyone that's been trying to get away with building really high, jhebbal sag is going to be able to take them out. As this video pretty much indicates, it is going to do a lot of damage, and you don't have to worry about your avatar not being able to hit any of it. So it's looking good. It's taken a good few weeks, and this is coming to Xbox One and the PS4, hopefully some point this week. So let me know what you think about Conan Exiles. Is this a good move? Is it going to get players back into the game? They have been leaking a lot of players. A lot of players have abandoned the game. Will this bring you back to playing it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And just an FYI, probably the biggest thing you're going to need to know is where to access the new religion and how to get into the Midnight Grove. The Midnight Grove is a big dungeon. There's going to be lots of challenges in there. There's lots of enemies, so it's no simple feat. But you need to find this guy. He's jhebbal sag's son, and he will give you a special potion that you take, which transports you to the Midnight Grove. You have to do this before you unlock any of the pet system. You won't be able to tame any creatures or take part obviously in the jungle dungeon until you find him and you actually teleport there. I've left the location on the map there as well. You can see I'm just on the left hand side of Set City, I do believe, and it's obviously got a really good pronounced area, and it's pretty safe around here. As long as you don't go too much into the big enemy campment there, you should be able to find him very easily. I did initially think the entranceway to the dungeon would be behind him because it looked like a doorway. I think that maybe it's meant to signify, but you simply just exchange a potion for something like some meat and stuff stuff like that. I think it's rotten meat or something. I can't remember exactly. This was a while ago that I got this footage when it first hit Test Live, but it's exactly the same. You need to go to the Midnight Grove by finding him. I did say I'd make a return for some Conan Exiles content once the pet updates hit, and I am going to do some content. I'm going to show you guys how to tame pretty much every pet. So make sure you got notifications turned on so you get that alert when these videos are coming out. I'm going to be working on them all day tomorrow, and I'll see you right back soon.